Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. I'm just in here and I haven't actually... Why am I filming this? Well, I was in here doing a live stream the other day about our favourite trilogies, and I had my VHS copy of the Star Wars Special Edition. Not that the Special Edition is my favourite version, but it's just quite a nice VHS box set. So, recently, I was sold a repro. And it's interesting, this one, because if you remember from my last video, I showed a haul of everything that I had bought. I even had a Patreon video where I opened all that stuff. But here's the deal, right? I'm not going to name the company that did it, sold it to me, because, you know, I've got a lot of good stuff from them in the past. And, you know, they're a reputable company, and I don't wish to bring them any, you know, bad press or whatever. But what I do want to do this video to kind of highlight, well, not how easy it is to get duped, but how quickly it was that I spotted that this was wrong when it arrived. And also, if something is too good to be true, it normally is. Now, the thing that caught my attention about this Rebel Commando was the fact that the bubble was so clear that I claimed it within seconds. And I don't know much about the Rebel Commando, but I think that I do know that it's rare to see them with clear bubbles. Where I stand with vintage stuff is that, well, I collect the modern TVC, and over here you'll see my favourite wall, the Return of the Jedi. I have a few examples of some lovely Kenner MOCs, mint on cards, that, you know, fit in like a glove to my modern collection. So this lovely Return of the Jedi Return of the Jedi badge 65 back Imperial TIE Fighter goes well with all my other variants of the TIE Fighter from the modern era. Same with Akbar. For whatever reason, I just managed to put up a run of Akbars, all the variants. Well, there's the 80s one there, and including the Canadian with the multi-language pill and all that. So how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variants of the Akbar. And recently I snagged the vintage 80s. So that's awesome, like the cherry on the cake. As you know, if you follow this channel, you'll know that I've put together a lot of gamos. I've got 2 mock gamos there. Vintage 80s that just fit in with it. So with the Commando, right, I recently acquired a few Commandos, including this one, this Revenge of the Jedi one. Single pill, because for years I had the multi-language pill of that variation. And then I had this fella. And then recently I acquired, via the action figure grader, the Rebel Commando white with the multi-language, like this fella. So that's 4. So then I thought to myself, well, since I've got nice, like a nice healthy run of Commandos, what do I need? A vintage 80s would seal the deal, just like that Akbar has. But so this came up and I claimed it straight away, and I thought nothing else about it, except the day I opened it. I swear to God, straight away I looked at it and I thought, that looks like a reproduction, because I've seen repair kits and restoration kits in the past, and I know what they look like and feel like. I messaged a few people. The action figure grader initially thought it looked kosher. Tim from Bosk's Bounty had a look, and he was a little bit kind of like, well, I need to see it in hand. And I know what Tim means, because this looks like it could be kosher, right? I'm going to show you some of the features that make it look fake in a minute. And then BOE, who takes an eternity to get back to you on WhatsApp. Sorry, BOE, that sounds like a terrible criticism. He's like a WhatsApp pal, but he's not on it all the time. He got back and he said, oh no, that's repro. Because he clocked this. Bruh. Look at that. Reproduction packaging. And then there's another telltale sign. And tip of the hat to some people some subscribers. David Edge, you were there, and a guy called Damien, who looked at my last video upload, which was a review of the Retro Collection 6-pack. And both of them noticed this blaster, which I also noticed when I opened it, but that wasn't my biggest concern. My biggest concern was how the card looks in the natural daylight. You can't tell in here because this is fake, false light, but when I opened it on Friday night, I'm filming this Sunday, on a Saturday when I looked at it in natural daylight, this chase has a horrible yellowy green, bleh, I don't know how to describe it, all over it. It does not look natural. It hasn't got that waffled pattern that you see on a proper vintage card, which I will show you later, but it's very shiny, it's very reflective, very glossy, and it just doesn't seem right. this punch hole is quite authentic looking because they have that sort of shape. Sometimes reproduction cards can't replicate that, but obviously whoever's done this has. And when I opened it, I looked at these seams, right? Let me show you these now. Maybe this will give you a better idea. This is the first thing I noticed when I've used restore kits in the past. The adhesives, bubbles or whatever, they look like that. You know, there's something about that really gave it away. And I was worried, so that's why I messaged a few people. I thought, well, have I got it wrong? Is it repro, or is it just this is what these era of the Rebel Commando were like? But that was the first thing that got me. After I'd seen that, and this is what you need to keep an eye on, because I've seen a fair few programs where they talk about fakes, I flipped it over, and I was looking for a pressing on the back. And this is when I picked up the phone at this point. I spoke to Tim first, I think. I spoke to all those three guys. They're the experts. There is no, whatever you call it, when they press or clamp the bubble on to a card, even on the TVC, you see a pressing on the back. So that's just been stuck on. Speaking of the Rebel Commando, let's look at this modern TVC one. This ain't no fake with the finish of the card there. But if you look on the back, look at that. Even the modern, look at that. You see how it's been clamped on? The bubble has been pressed and glued. And look at that. See that little line there? And you get that even on a vintage 80s. Look at the card back of this. Compare it. Look at that. That is a proper card back. You can see that there's a kind of a texture to the cardboard there, where the print is on the top. And it doesn't say reproduction there either. And also, look, even that, you can see the clamp. That's how you find a fake that I know of. I'm no expert, you know, I'm very new, but I'm not an idiot either. And as I say, when I opened that and had that in hand, and this is what Tim said on the phone yesterday, he said, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell until you've got it for real. And I just knew immediately, and my heart sank. And look at that, look how reflected the bubble is. See, the bubble is just, that's an adhesive thing. Let's just compare that with this 80s here. It just, you know, it's just so obvious. It's a part of it, you know what I mean? And so that is that. It has been all sorted they have refunded me the money, and they've even said just keep hold of this, which is fair enough. You know, I don't know what they wanted to do if they had to return it. It was sold to them by someone reputable, and that's why they claim they hadn't really thought to check it. And they deal with so many items a day, then fair enough, I can forgive and accept that. But still, you know, certain things that, you know, and also the thing that's a bit of a bummer about this whole thing is they have deleted the original post that this came from, which is almost questionable as well, but still sweeping it under the rug. But still, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe this can help you know how to spot a fake. I mean, look at it. I mean, it looks like it could be a legit, but you just need to see it, and you will know that it ain't the real deal, man. But still, there you are. There's my experience of the first ever repro that I have not bought intentionally, that was sold as a vintage MOC. And water under the bridge, everything is forgiven there. But just beware, ladies and gentlemen. There's a few pointers there maybe that you can look out for yourself. And, you know, don't take my gospel word for it. You know, check out some other experts. I'm not saying I'm an expert, although I tell you one thing. I'm proud of myself that when I opened that, I knew it was wrong, just from my own experience. But when I say look out for experts, go and see some proper videos of auction houses or whatever, and they give you a rundown of what to look out for when something is fake. Thank you for watching. I have been only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.